good old jolly cooperation.
これでいけそうな。
$250 donation from Anonymous. God, you guys are generous. Here's to my favorite charity event to
経営
exist
すると
ever.
きはア
Hope
ドレナリ
everybody
ン注
has a
射。
great year, and after my 2017 luck, I think it's time
こ
to
れ
share
か
a
ら
bit of
み
the
んなセ
wealth
リフで
speaker's
給油す
choice.
るときは
Awesome.
ちゃん
That
とアド
will
レ
be
ナリ
going
ン注射しま
towards
しょう。
playing as the male in the Mass
ガ
Effect
ソリン
speedrun
ス
on
タンドの
Saturday.
店員
The
さんは基
faster
本的に
option.
もうアドレナリン注射をしていってますからね。
$20 from Alden saying super pumped for this run. Got all the lads watching.
そうですね、
But no
今回は
foot
イ
pedals
ー
and
ジーだっ
wheels
た
for
り、
easy
その
hops.
場所によってエ
That's gonna be
キ
yikes
ス
from
パー
me.
トにしたりしているんで、
We got a yikes.
まあ、
$30 from Hacks saying,
どうなんでしょうね。
please read during Left 4 Dead 2. I'm sorry, but I can get to it now. To my sweet man, Beast, I'm sorry we can't be
ダイイ
together
ン
right
グライ
now.
トですけど、
Watching
パルクール
AGDQ
ゲーなの
together
で、
like
正
we've done for
直、
years.
髪の
I
毛
love
と
you and I
かあ
love
りそうですごく
AGDQ.
楽しみです。
Let's
見た
kick
ことない
cancer
ので。
in the boot. Let's kick it right in the boot, yeah. $150 from Top Gun saying, this is my first time watching AGDQ live, and I knew I just had to donate during Left 4 Dead 2. I spent so many hours playing Versus with a great group of friends. Cancer is worse than any zombie apocalypse. So thanks to all the runners and staff doing their
エ
part
キ
to
ス
take it
パートの
down.
RTM 1時
Ask
間
me
ぐら
a
いで終わ
question.
る。
I dare you.
場所
$20 from Dr. Mecha Kitten
レフト4
saying, amazed to see Left 4 Dead 2 being run. Never expected to see that. Source Runs was the first speedrun community I ever found, and I love it. Props to you all for saving Noam Chomsky. Heck yeah, man.
そうですね。
$200
いや、これぞ
from
RTA っ
Keith
て感じ
saying
ですね。
first time being able to
飛ば
donate
し
to
て
a great
かっ飛ば
cause.
してい
Keep
く
up the good work, everyone. Keith, that is very generous. Thank you so
や
much
っぱ
for
り
your
そ
first
の
time
初見の
donation.
人でもね、見てて楽しめるようなゲームの方がやっぱり
$40 from Tendo
面白いんで。
saying, GDQ, my favorite time of the year. My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma 2 years ago, but thanks to immunotherapy, she has been clear since then. Let's despawn cancer altogether. Obliterate, despawn, eviscerate, decimate. You guys are great with these ways of killing things. $110 from Anonymous saying, my mom survived breast cancer due to early detection. I've watched GDQ for a long time and finally have some money to donate for such a great cause. Half to Master Mode on Breath of the Wild and half to validating the Zelda Link to the Past run. And just in case you guys want to snipe the Dying Light language incentive, that will be ending at the... That will be cut off at the end of the interview that is coming up right here with the Left 4 Dead 2 people. Currently, French is in the lead with about 1,050, and German in
そうで
second
す
with
ね。よく見たら
475. So
ゾンビゲーばっ
go
かりじゃねえか。そうですね。
donate,
ここ
check
から
out
どんどん
the
どんどん
options,
ゾンビ系が
and snipe that in
あ
the
りま
last
す。
minute
ダイ
if
イン
you,
グライトもゾン
if
ビ
you want to
ゲ
see
ー
your language.
だったと思いますし、レジデントイービル。
And we got $50
Biohazard
from
7
Shirley saying,
three.
Virginia local and longtime viewer.
で、
Unfortunately, I
まあ、
couldn't make it this year
ちょっと違った
because of
ゾ
work,
ン
but
ビ
I
ゲーで
figured
はない
I'd
ですけど、
join in
次にサイ
spirit.
レントヒル
Shout out to the
が来
party
るという
couch
ことで
during the Dying
まあ
Light
すご
run.
い見応えがある
And good luck, Fun Cannon and
RTA
Amy.
となっておりますなっております。ちなみに、
$10
左
from
下に
Synth
現地
Pro
時間
saying,
が
longtime viewer, second time donor.
され出ている
I
の
want to
で、
just say how much I appreciate GDQ and all the amazing things you do for both charity and the gaming community alike. I just lost my job yesterday, but I still wanted to donate this year. So please take this 10 from me. I have spent the last 10 plus years of my life fighting with ulcerative colitis, sorry, and it puts me at high risk of cancer in my lifetime. Consider this an investment towards my future. Never stop what you're doing, GDQ. I love you all. Cheers. And I have a big $1,000 donation from Nifsta saying, love watching
言語によってムービーの
AGDQ.
長さが変わった
For a
りする
great
ダイイ
cause,
ングライ
thanks to
ト
all the runners, viewers, and everyone involved in making this such an awesome event. Put this money towards freeing the plebs. I don't think so. All right.
もしかし
I think the interview is
た
ready,
ら
and I'm going to pass you over
ト
to
イストーリ
the
ーは
Left 4 Dead runners
ゾンビ
with
系
J
だっ
Hobbs.
たのかもしれない。
For Spike Vegeta, filling in for JHouse296. What's up, guys? I am Spike Vegeta here at Awesome Games Done Quick 2018 with our next set of interviewees. We have got all 4 of our runners for Left 4 Dead 2. Awesome co-op run you guys just had there. Super exciting, super fun run. I want to talk to you guys just about the fact that there are 4 of you here. And it's something that I remember thinking, you know, I've been in the speedrunning community for well over a decade now. We've had all these solo runs, but it was always an interesting dynamic to take these really talented, hardworking players and actually bring them together for this, not just a 2-player co-op, but a 4-player co-op. What about that is exciting to you, is scary to you? What is this experience like, having to do this?
Oh, well, it definitely wasn't scary. I get to meet all my friends over here. We got one guy from Hungary right there flying in to participate in our co-op run. I meet these guys online, then you get to the event and you meet each other. It brings everybody together, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to also ask you guys, just, do you find yourself when you're doing it that outside of just, okay, I play as each of these characters, that you sort of almost like a sports team take over certain roles? That, you know, one of you maybe calls out the shots. Also, just how does that affect you as you go through the run? That you're not just focused on what you're doing and when you make mistakes. If your partner fails something somewhere, how does that affect what you now have to do?
Right, yeah. So we definitely do have specific roles that we practice for. Like you could see in when we were in Hard Rain, like Fails would jump off right away to check for items for us, and we'd have somebody going ahead. And then if something happens to him, we'll have backups where we can warp somebody ahead to that guy, just you know, just so nothing too bad happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything from you guys about just specific kind of, I guess, excitements that you have for the fact that it gets to be a 4-player co-op?
I mean, it's hard to like balance out the roles essentially. Like most of my parts are in Swamp Fever, like those low boosts, and that's kind of what I'd say I specialize in basically.
Sure.
Just, and those boosts are done very specific timing, so it's pretty hard, but like that's something that I practice at a lot now.
I think we all have our specific roles that we're good at and most practiced at.
Yeah, because some of it's just so difficult that you want to practice it and practice it and practice it and practice it, so it's easier to have one person kind of dedicate to that.
Absolutely.
You know, so they know what they're doing when it comes time.
Right, but we've also played this game so much that in case one person kind of dies off, like in Heart Rain, you had to die. Some of us can take over and continue the run, even though it'll be a bit slower. I feel like it's with 4-player, I get a lot less nervous because they're not one teammate, but 3 of them.
Sure.
So a lot more backups.
Yeah, you know, just real quick, like you get a special on you in solo, that's the end of that. But if you're in co-op, you've got somebody right there that can back you up and, you know, save a lot of time.
I have to ask, how did you guys, we didn't actually bring this up beforehand, but how did you guys come together? Was it just your 4 friends, you wanted to play the game, you just happened to be 4 of the top runners of the game?
Well, I've known Deagle for quite a long time, so we came into it together. Actually, the 2016 run, we watched that and said, that looks pretty cool, we should try to give that a shot.
Sure.
And then we just found so many more things after that. I mostly started up the community because it was kind of, you know, not too many people back then. Then I got the stream up. People saw the stream. They thought, that looks amazing. Fails comes in. Burhack comes in. We find all these crazy things with the grenade launch boost and all that. And then there we go. So, yeah. So Fails and Burhack are friends from this community.
Oh, okay, awesome. I want to go ahead and jump to a few social media questions we got right here from Melon Bread. What keeps you in love with the game to make you keep running it?
I think for me, it's the fact that every time you do a run, there's different things happening.
Sure.
Because of all of the random elements. It keeps it fresh all the time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got to imagine, again, the fact that there are 4 of you, it's going to change that every single time, how to make those adjustments on the fly.
I'd say the camaraderie and all the highlights that we get from the runs that we've done,
Sure.
they're pretty good. I like to be part of that.
Yeah, I have some highlight compilations of ridiculous things that's happened to us over the time. Oh my
Ooh.
God.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Do I actually love this game?
Do you actually? These 3
That's
won't
real
let me
thinking.
stop playing it.
Yeah, like,
I mean, it's enjoyable. I
yeah.
like the RNG of it. There's a lot of it, but it becomes more of a game, you know. You have to expect, you know, like a ton of different things, and you know, it's like a lot of quick thinking
Sure.
throughout the
Yeah.
run. it's not like you just do this, and that.
Right.
It's, sometimes you have to do this. If that doesn't work, you're doing this. If something spawns here, you're doing that, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I kind of like that complication of it,
Sure.
yes, but I also hate the games.
Yeah, I'd say like you develop like a sixth sense. You know the map layout, so when you hear something spawn to your right, you figure, oh, it's probably up the staircase in that room. So, and then you get to react to that.
So I have to ask, you kind of alluding it to right there. I don't want to get emotional with this or anything, but is this the breaking up of the band? Are you guys now going to go your separate ways? No, there's going to be more Left 4 Dead 2 or even a different game that you guys are looking at?
Well, definitely we have some more to do in Left 4 Dead 2. There's strategies being discovered all the time and really stupid things that the Source engine does, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with. You never know what's around the corner. What we're going to discover and be like, why did Valve do that? So new things are coming up all the time. And yeah, we have plenty of co-op runs with strats we haven't even really implemented yet that we're going to improve on, and solos. And I don't know, maybe we'll do some casual games too together. Who knows?
Make sure to give all these guys a follow. I'm going to throw out one more question because I just have to know from you guys. It was a game about zombies from JBurger116. If a zombie outbreak happened, where would you go and what would you do first?
I would probably stay with our friend Moof, who he's right over
just
there.
off camera.
Yeah,
all right, we got our bodyguard coming. Yeah, come on camera. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
come in here.
Yeah.
I would probably.
Let's cut to a different camera angle so it's harder to get him on. All right,
I would probably
right
stay
here.
with Moof.
There
He is graciously holding us in to his apartment an hour from here, so we don't have to pay all the hotel costs.
Yo, nice.
And he has a bunch of pistols and rifles and stuff. So yeah, I think he'd be a good one to stay with.
We're talking purely in the context of a zombie outbreak, ladies and gentlemen.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think you would do first?
I would probably just probably hole up in my apartment, not go anywhere too public because there's probably going to be bad stuff happening there.
Absolutely.
I would try to find the closest grenade launcher and fly out of here.
Oh, an aggressive move. I like it.
I would probably just do the same thing that I do every day: sit in my room and play video games.
Just don't try to find a helicopter and fly away because they always crash. You made up the lore of the game.
The apocalypse going around, but we're still rolling deep. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again. These are the Left 4 Dead 2 runners. Make sure to give all of them a follow. Thank you guys for giving us that awesome run. We're going to go on to the rest of Horror Block. Remember, guys, get in your donations for all sorts of cool prizes, including this awesome PC part set. For a minimum $40 donation, get to towards that $150 minimum donation throughout the entire marathon to be in the drawing for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. We got a lot more action right up there for you guys going into the Dying Light co-op run.
ダイイングライトが
Enjoy.
そろそろ
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
始まるそうですね。チューズランクエイジっていうことで、選ばれた言語、寄付で選ばれた言語が
Hello,
1050ドルで
AGDQ, my old
フ
friend.
ランス
I've come to
になりま
talk
した
to you again. I'm Prolix, your host for the next run. We're continuing the co-op action with Dying Light, any percent co-op run by Amerlin and the Fun Cannon.
基本的
Meanwhile,
に
though,
この
during
ゲー
that
ムはチャ
interview,
リ
we
ティーイベン
received
トなので
an anonymous donation in the amount of
寄付によって
$1,000.
選択肢だったり、その攻略の方法が変わったりしていくので
Their comment, lost one of my grandpas to lung cancer almost 2 years ago. We miss him at the holidays since his passing. Here's to kicking cancer in the backside so hard the boot gets stuck up there. Also, Mail Shep does the Renegade lines better. Oh, so I guess I know what your incentive was. And then, I have to say it, another anonymous $1,000 donation.
日本ではやっぱり寄付っていうのができないことが多いので、
Another comment
あんま
near
りこう
to
いう
our
イベント
charitable
が
cause here found out while watching that my buddy's wife just got diagnosed with multiple myeloma. He's been with me all through my career in the Army, and he's a brother to me. Been watching since 2016. Keep up the good work. And ladies and gentlemen, now it is time. We're going to return to the main stage for Dying Light, Co-op Any Percent by the Fun Cannon and Amerlin. Take it away.
Yep. So, I'm ready when you are.
Ready?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm Kyle Amerlin Crane.
I'm Kyle, the Fun Cannon Crane.
And so we've got
I
on the couch.
I am Shockwave.
I
am Airwaves. They're not mic'd, but Lady Kestrel and Lady Cyndaquil over there.
All right.
So this is co-op, so we're going to be connecting through LAN the entire time.
始まりましたね。
And
Dying
when one
Light.
important thing is when both of our
4%
games are
フォー
paused,
で
the
す。
timer
2人で
pauses.
協力して
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Haha,
やっ
right.
ていく話です。
Trying to
基
cheat
本的にこの
already.
ゲームはなん
Come
か
on, man.
動画で見た時
Well,
に
muscle memory from when
パ
I
ルクー
loaded
ル
is
が
just too
すごい
strong.
面白いゲ
So
ーム
if
で。
you've played this game before, you're realizing that we're not actually playing the intro. That is because that is actually solo only. And both the intro and the outro of the game actually get completely
ミッ
skipped
ショ
in
ン
the
があるん
co-op
で、そ
run.
のミッションをクリアして
One of the biggest things that actually makes it faster.
いくっていう
So
感
as
じです
well,
ね。
we're actually
で、
splitting up the early
目
part of
標
this
タイムが
run.
1時間
He's
45
heading to
分
the main
っていう
story
ことで
objective, and I'm grabbing
2015
something
年に
important for
出た
later.
ので、もう本当に最近のゲームで
So the
す。
first piece of tech you're going to see is that anytime either player runs out of stamina, they're going to kick because that gives them back all of their stamina.
That corner sucks sometimes. All right.
Alright. Give me a second. You're too fast, man.
I'm getting it down.
Alright, so one of the big co-op mechanics there is the game lets you
そうで
work
すね。
back to your
な
co-op
ぜか
partner
英語になって
if you
いま
hold
す
D,
ね。フラン
and
ス
that
語で
is
寄
very
付が
important because it actually lets
な
us
ん
split
で、
up.
もしかしたら
Yeah,
フ
if
ラ
we
ンス語
didn't
だと
have
思
that
ってた
co-op, we're
んです
just
けども、
not worth be
ど
running
こ
at
かで
all
変える
because there are times when we're on opposite sides of the map from each other.
And now we're actually switching roles. I'm doing the main thing while he's grabbing a couple
そうで
important
すね。
things
片
for later.
方
He's
が
getting
メイ
something
ン
for
で、
speed
その間に
boosters, which will be really
シャ
nice,
ツっぽ
as
い
well
です
as
ね
the same care package that I
で
just got.
移動してき
That
ました
actually gives experience when you turn it into the quartermaster, and
会話
we
イベント
might end up with a little more of them than we're supposed to. Don't worry about it.
No, it's fine all the time. So I managed to step out a little bit. It's something I can do when I teleport to him. You'll see that he is dressed appropriately. He's got the yellow shirt and the flashlight on his shoulder.
Same
I'm
as
dressed
him.
the same. The co-op run doesn't differentiate between the two players. We are essentially the same person for all intents and purposes. So.
And throughout the first part of this run, you're gonna see us get
で
those phone calls every once in a while.
ダイイングライトのあらすじなんですけども、
Required
主
story
人
things that
公
kind of give backstory.
が
We're currently working for an organization
GRE っていう世界
kind of a
救
double
済活
agent,
動
but
会
kind
って
of
いう
not.
と
Yeah,
ころに
and we also
雇わ
are
れてい
zombie
て、
already, but not. So
Yeah.
just
It-
don't worry about it.
Well, like,
とある
Restream will
人
occasionally
物か
turn
ら
green and he'll
極秘
hold his
書
hands
類
in
を
front
取
of
り
his
戻す
face
ため
when it's
に
not important.
And
この
you
町
guys
に
did
パラ
vote
シュー
for
ト
the
して
French
くるんです
language.
けども、
Keep in mind, it is the
武装
fastest
集団に
language,
襲わ
but
れて、
the
それ
voice
で
acting
まあ
is
ゾンビ
absolutely
簡
terrible.
単に言うとゾンビの感染者に噛まれてしまって、
Much love to the French
かろ
Restream, but like,
生き残るためにパルクールを習得していろいろやっていくって感じで
So
す
now we're
ね。
gonna actually start duping.
Yeah,
な
so
ので
this
薬と
duping
かを見つ
thing,
けたりして生き残る
it's
ためにいろい
slightly
ろ
complicated now thanks to a patch they introduced recently, but they're
で、声
basically
は
going
フ
to
ランス語
multiply a stack of items repeatedly and then transfer that number to other items.
まあ世界
So
救
you can see
済
they'll
し
put
てい
the
るんで
mouse
しょうね、
cursor
世
over a
界
certain stack of items which has a high number, and
や
then
っぱ
they're
世界
going
救
to
済
pull
掲
up
げ
that
ていま
menu
す
so
から
they
ね。
get that number of items
こ
that
の
they're
世
going to
の
transfer over. In between, there's a couple frames window they can move over to a different stack of
この世か
items,
ら
and
救
then
済
they
し
can
てい
move
る
that
か
item
もしれない
back
で
over,
す
and then
ね。
now basically duplicate the item. So you'll see now they have 8,000 duct tape because, yeah, now they have 16,000. So now they're going to put everything back into the storage, open the menu to get 16,000 into that quantity menu, and then pull over any other item that they want to
右側が
duplicate
移
to that
動して
number.
います
So now they
ね。
have 16,000 of literally anything they want.
And
で
they can
マッチ
start
な
this
よう
from
です。
anything.
Yeah, they need to have a stack of 2 or higher.
all right, that's
Pretty
4 mess ups for me.
decent.
I'm donating every time I screw one of these
バ
up
グで
because
アイ
it's
テ
actually
ムを
hard
2
off
倍
host.
3倍と増
My
やし
frame window is a little
て
bit
い
different
る。
than on host.
And you'll see me sitting in my menu here just because the game actually
Got
is
it.
timed through in-game time, and when the game actually pauses, in-game time doesn't actually run.
まあとりあえず今
Gotta
はなん
craft
か
that. I gotta do one
資
more.
材をなんか増やしてる感じです。
So right now we're not
で、
actually
メイ
losing
ン
any
クエ
time.
ストですね、これ。
Promise this is easier than it looks. There we go.
All right.
All right, so that's always the stressful part of the run for me because I have to dupe a
そうで
lot
すね、
more.
このゲームもパルクールがすっごい楽しいので、まあ、
I
よ
have
か
2 or
ったら
3 extra things
買
beyond
っ
Fun
て
Cannon because I have to dupe stuff
プ
for
レ
the
イする
speed
ことを
boosters
お
that we
勧
get
めし
later.
ますね。僕はやったことない
They
ですけ
got
ど、
that
動画で
supply,
しか見
each
た
of
こと
them
な
got
い
a
ので。
supply drop
あれなん
earlier.
ですけど。
As
で、
they
これ
said,
で
that
スキルです
turn
ね。
that gets XP.
こ
They're
の
going
ス
to
キ
each
ル
drop
で
one of
いろ
these
ん
right
な
now, and they're
も
going
の
to
をや
dupe
っ
them
て
again
い
later,
く
but
ん
they're
で
going
す
to
けど、
turn
ス
them
キ
in
ルを
to
ほ
maximize
と
or
ん
to
ど
max
こ
their
れ開け
survivor
開
rank
け
on
て
the
ます
tree.
ね。
It unlocks a bunch of more skills. They'll They'll get extra potion abilities, and eventually they're going to get the bottom skill on there is the grapple hook. That's going to severely break it in terms of now, because you're not supposed to have the grapple hook at all right now. So they're going to go ahead and buy the grapple hook, and now they've just unlocked a huge movement option right there, and they're going to re-grab their supply package so they can dupe it again for more XP.
And another side effect of that is that we have access to really late game weapons, so we are very, very much stronger than we're supposed to be right now.
Yeah, they just bought a shotgun right there, which can basically one-shot anything in the game. So they're super powered for the entire run.
Luckily, there's a cutscene here, so it doesn't really matter.
I'll let this go while
マウスのサイドボタンにコントロールを
This
入
will
れ
give
て
me
ま
more
す。
time, actually.
海外イベ
So
ン
I'm
ト中に
crafting
しっか
2
りと
sets of 5 speed boosters here.
時間が
I'm going to drop 1 set of 5 for him, and that will give him just 5 speed boosters for this initial part, which is all we're going to need until I dupe a bunch later.
And an important thing about the speed booster is that it is something that makes it so you don't run out of stamina at all, and you run faster as well.
もうあんまり覚えてないの動画を見た当時からもう3年前の2年前ぐらい。
Okay, so now we wait, and now we have a grappling hook, and I
そうです
just
ね。
broke
こ
my
の
legs.
今歩くとかなん
Great.
かフックショットみたいなの飛んでいるのがあるんですけど、
The
これ
grappling hook actually
は
has a lot of
序
tech
盤
with it.
序
If you
盤
crouch
で
while
は
you're
取れ
using
な
the
いアイテ
grappling
ム
hook,
ですね。
it cuts your grappling hook right there.
これでもうす
So
ご
if
いゲ
you
ー
get
ム
a
性
bad
が崩
grapple
壊
or
しそうな
anything
気が
else
し
like
ます
that,
ね。
it lets you save yourself. You also have to do the opposite of what I just did there and not use your grappling hook too much, or you'll run out.
Yeah. And the final part is that you can hook zombies with it, which is bad, and it kills your
まあ
grappling
イメージ
immediately.
はそうですね。そういうイメージ
So like
で
I can,
進
you know,
撃
hook
の
a
巨
zombie
人
and
の
it'll
あ
just
れみたい
cancel
な
it.
感じのイメージ
And
でも
that
い
kind
い
of
と思い
sucks
ま
when
す
it
ね。
happens.
何かに突き刺して移
Another
動して
big
る。
thing that we're going to be grabbing along the way in a couple of these spots are agility flags. Level 5 agility gives us a
最
big
初に
speed
取った
boost
サバイバーランクが上が
and
るアイ
skills,
テムを
so
増
it's
殖してレベルアップしてい
important
く
for us
感
to
じで
grab
す
a。couple of these along
な
the
んで
way
まあ移
when
動
it's
するためのスキルは全部取ったみたいですね。
Crane, please.
There are some corners in this game that are really badly collisioned, so you can just kind of climb into them and have no way to climb out. So I'm running to this first area. There's some bad guys here. They're really dangerous, and they might kill me. I actually do have to be careful. I wasn't kidding. They can get up after I shoot them and kill me.
even with their missing heads or limbs or anything else like that.
Yeah, the game does not
なん
expect
か
you to
そう
do
いえば
enough
こ
damage at
の
this point to be able
そ
to
の
do
町
anything to
の
them. So it doesn't really know how to deal with
最
you
初いた
actually
ところ
killing
の
them.
人に
I'm fist
信
fighting
用
a
がな
zombie
いか
here.
らなんか持って
Takes a
こ
while
い
to kill him. Keep that in mind for later.
頼まれているの
Much
で
later in the
こん
run.
な今お使いをしてい
That'll
ると
become
ころ
important.
だった気がしますね。僕の記憶だ
And
と。
this is where the game's kind of introducing the night mechanic, which they're much harder zombies at night. And luckily, because we are so
そうですね。こ
overpowered
れ
at this point,
ス
it
パイダーマン
doesn't
と
really
言っても
affect us too
もう
much.
間違いない。
Once you get a grappling hook, the knight stops becoming dangerous because it takes zombies a while to
左
climb
の画
buildings,
面は一
and you
体
just
何
grapple
を
to
し
the top
て
of
いる
really
んでし
tall
ょう
one.
か。
They're
街
not a
ですか
problem.
ね、もしかしてこれは。
Really quickly, we're just running back to the tower.
He is. I'm, you know,
I mean, what did that plant do to you?
listen. It knows what it did.
Why you gotta be so mean to the plant?
Deserves it.
夜になると敵クリーチャーが強化されるらしいですね。
But one important thing is I can buffer in a B input when he wants me to
あ
teleport
の
him, so it saves a
僕
little
や
bit
った
of
ことな
time
い
in
で
there.
初心者なんでまあコメントで解説していただけれ
Notice
ば。
just in general, most cutscenes are
しっかりと
skippable in this. You can either mash through text or just hold space,
コメ
and
ン
that
トを見るのでよかったら。
makes a big difference. There are plenty, though, that are not skippable
紫
in
外
any
線
way.
に弱い強敵
Which
が
is not fun.
出ても走ってるだけで逃げれそう。
There so there are
あ
a
あ、
couple that
そういえ
are
ばありましたね。夜限定で強い
gory,
強
so if
敵
you
が
use
現れるん
Squeamish,
で
we'll
す
give
け
you a
ど、
little bit of a
なんで
warning.
夜限定かっていうと、
This is a horror
紫
block,
外線
so
に弱くって
that
外
will
に
be
出られ
signed
な
up
い
for.
から
Right.
夜しか出られなくって、そいつらがすごい強いって。
All right, so we're going to split up again. He's actually going to do a lot
な
more
の
duping.
で、
Meanwhile,
片
I'm
方
going
は
to
イ
run
ベン
to
トアイ
the
テ
next
ム
section
整
of the
理、
game,
片方
where
は
we're
移動
meeting
で
the main
出ますね。イベント。
antagonist. You won't actually see him, but we are meeting him. I promise.
So Emerald's going to do the supply packages
今日の
again
ゲームでやっ
to
た
get
こ
more
とある
XP,
のは
and
今
then
日の
he's
ゲー
going
ム
to
で
max out his legend
先
level.
ほどから
A
入っ
legend
たん
level
で
is
すけど
sort of like an endgame thing after you
これで
max out
3
a
つなんですけど
certain tree. You can get
それ
experience
全部
to
やっ
buff
たこと
other
ないで
general
すそれ
skills
で
like
適当に喋っ
stamina,
た
health, fist fighting, something like that. So he's going to just dupe a bunch of supply packages, turn them in, and just max out his legend
ど
level
んどん
and
ど
get
ん
a
どん
bunch
移
of
動
extra
してい
stat
って
bonuses.
ますね
Yeah, so it's if you've played Diablo 3, it's a lot like the Paragon levels in that, where it encourages endgame play beyond actually finishing the game.
まあ正
So
直
I'm just
こ
getting
うこ
better
の
at
スクショット見て
punching,
るのがあっ
running.
たら別にも
My
う
heart
移動
is
なん
getting
て関係
stronger.
ないですから
I'm getting better at
ゾンビ
stopping
と
my
あんまり
bleeding, and then I'm
左な
getting
んか
better
つばら
at
だ
guns.
と何かやってますね左の方は
I got a gun harder.
すごい上げてますね
Gun better.
スキル
Do gun better.
Yeah, do gun. I'm
これ
gonna
を
do
ボ
gun
ス
much
戦に
better.
おっとこ
Real
こ
quick,
壁
these
抜
guys
けを
are
し
nice
て
enough
い
to
った
leave the window open for me, maybe.
普通は壁抜けができないと思っていたが壁抜けができる
So this saves just a little bit of time on the trigger here.
やっぱりこの
So I
こ
can
のゲー
hit
ム
the
壁
trigger
抜
that's
け気味じゃない
behind
か
the NPC waiting there without actually having to have him move.
Oh, that's right. My keybinds get messed up after I dupe again.
いや
We
ー
both have
壁抜けで
a
きないとね
pretty
一般人じゃ
consistent
ない
setup we use for our items,
可能
and
性が
whenever
ありま
anything
す
gets
ね
transferred
もう
out of
こ
our
れを見て
inventory,
い
it
る
always takes a second to get back
FPS
to
は
that. There it is.
パルクールってフックショットで
Guy
ゴ
real
スピード
quick,
すること
watch him
は
teleport around a
そう
little
で
bit.
すパルクール
Yeah.
はそういうこ
For
とで
some
す
reason, they didn't
あ
really
の
think about the fact
まあ
that
も
Call
ちろ
was
ん
going
手
to
を
be in
使って
this,
移動
so
もありなんですけ
Offhost
ども基本的にはもうフッ
doesn't
クショ
really
ット
know
を
what
使
it's
って
doing
パルクー
when
ルしていきます
characters get skipped.
パルクールゲーって言われているん
It is
で
funny though. There's one cutscene where a guy will literally just teleport like 20 feet
でここで
straight
海外
backwards
で
and
ま
then
た
forward again
アイテムを
because he's supposed to walk around doing that.
こうだ
And we've got a bit of another
Open
phone
up
call here.
仲間にあげて
There's not too much to say, so we're just going to throw it over to
何か言ってます
donations.
ね
All right, we have a donation of $200. It comes from a grunt who says, I usually try to slip this in during a Mega Man block, but since my pal Airwaves is on the couch this year, I figured I would donate during the Fun Cannon and Amerlin's run. Keep up the great work, guys. And that was also split between your donation choices, so congratulations. We also have Afterlife Killer with a $25 donation who says, I just want to give a huge shout out to Fun Cannon. Without him, I would never have gotten into speedrunning in general. He also got me into the Borderlands 2 community where I made many friends,
ちなみに
including
この移
Amy.
動は
And
最
then he
初から
says,
で
love
き
you
ないんで
guys
すここだけは
flanked
ちょっ
by
と
hearts.
観念してほしいところなんですけど
Alright.
これ
I'm
がや
actually
りたく
gonna
て買っ
split
た
off
っ
from
て
him
言われ
again.
ても
Grab a couple
最
more
初の方
flags
は出
because
ない
it's going to pretty much put me at level 5 as fast as I can. Meanwhile, he's just going to be running to the first antenna tower that he has to climb.
Yeah, this one isn't the most
お
fun.
っと何か
There are
出
a
て
ton
き
of
ま
enemies
した
around
ね
me.
これは新しい
And I'm gonna try to get in here without killing any of them.
ゲロを吐いて、まあ、レフト4デッド2にもいたブーバーみたいな感じのやつです
This is a little iffy, but yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna use what I got earlier, which was firecrackers, and throw one right there, open this door, and hopefully nothing attacks me. Throw another one, because that one ran out.
強い敵が今出現しているんですけど、それをなんかアイテムでうまく避けてます。
And that should distract everything, or I'll just blow
どんどん
myself
上
up.
に行って、ここは何だろうな。
Well,
Alright, well, I made it.
it's very easy for him to die there.
送電
It's
線
probably
を
one
な
of the
んか
biggest
い
run
じる
killers
と
for
うん
us,
たらかんたら
especially because I have to really book it to this next area.
もしかしたらこれはジャスト
I've got both a side quest to grab, and I need to get to the second tower before he's really done with all of this.
So I got it done. I almost missed the zip line there. Thankfully, if you hold space, you can just reattach to him.
ハワセなんだよ
And
な
I'm gonna go back to Rise here while FC climbs the other tower.
本来だと
So
普
this
通
is that
に
side
そうで
quest I
す
was talking about. We're actually going to use it for
でも
warping later. There's just a mechanic in this game.
うわーって登ってま
And
す
that's actually one of the more important ones that we grab through the run.
Karim, est-ce que tu ferais de la deuxième tour d'antenne et la clôture est électrifiée? Je crois qu'il y a quelqu'un à l'intérieur.
Another thing to notice with the
こんな風にね、右の画面
towers
のよう
is
に
that
パルクー
we
ル
can
で基
grapple
本は
on
登
a
ってい
good
く
portion
と
of
ころ
them.
ですね。
We're really
で
not
それ
supposed
で
to have
ク
the
ショッ
grappling
トに
hook
よ
at
っ
this
て、
point,
まあ
and the
よ
game
くわかんないよってなって
it shows it because
普通にこの
the
一
later
般
towers
人なん
actually
です
do
かね、こ
have
の人は。
grappling
こんな
basically
パルクール
disabled
で
and
き
make
る
you climb them.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle a d'emballé la
握力がやばい
Well,
で
it's
すけど。
much faster. on the earlier ones.
So I'm setting up for my one major contribution to this community. I found this accidentally. So when he turns out on that transmitter, I can teleport him to me, and it's faster in game time if we go inside, turn around, come back out, and then go back in, because it just completes the objective. Ordinarily, we had to wait about 10 or 15 seconds for dialogue. So, the beginning of this game is kind of a little bit slow and starts to pick up.
まあでも勝ちが広い分その分面白いです。
much faster.
そうですね。この人はゾンビに噛まれた一般人です。一応設定では。もしかしたらゾンビに噛まれたおかげでこんな超能力を
He's got deep pockets.
できるようになった。
We've been over this. He duped his pockets.
He duped cargo pants.
Yeah.
He duped cargo pants, then duped the pockets on those.
Exactly. So if I actually mash fast enough, Crane just blacks out and completes the dialogue.
Alright, so we're actually going to have another phone call coming up, so another great time for donations for the next little bit.
Great, I have a couple to read here. First of all, Crash donated $10 and said, "So I don't have an awful lot to give, but I figured I should give it anyway. My mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer earlier this year. She's already had partial treatment, including a full hysterectomy and chemotherapy. She seems to be on the recovery, so that's good to hear. Keep doing what you do to raise money for this cause. Thank you." And thank you very much for your generosity, Crash. Even if you don't have a lot to give, no worries. Our donation total, while impressive, is made up of thousands of small contributions like yours. And now I will do what I can to raise a little bit more money for us. Here's a $100 donation from Ashilf, and it says, "Hello, GDQ, Ashilf here. Great to see this event still going strong. Been watching since SGDQ 2014, and boy has it grown. Not a speedrunner myself, but I enjoy watching. Lost so many weeks just to watching players optimize their runs. I'll donate another $100 if the reader can pronounce my name right." Okay, so good luck to me there on Ashilf. Thank you.
Right. This is our friend Jafar. We threatened to break his legs. Then he pays us.
He's cool about it.
Basically doing extortion for the
I fell a little bit.
for Rise.
Just normal everyday stuff.
Yeah. Don't you extort money for a notorious warlord every day? It's pretty normal.
Yeah, I accidentally got two grappling hooks. Alright, so this is the first quest warp. If you just change to a side quest and save quit, you go to a default location for that point. It will actually work with the main quest as well, but it's never really useful. So I'm just going to wait in my menu for him to rejoin me.
This does take a second, even on LAN.
バイオハザード4時点でのレオンぐらいの能力らしいですね、主人公は。相当
He's that uncle that you like don't really want you to hug you, but you're like whatever, give him a hug anyway.
One little thing worth noting is that they're using the speed boosters. They can't stack them or use one until the previous one has gone away.
I'm gonna cut you in a second. If you are squeamish to any gore or anything, look away now for like the next 10 seconds.
Yeah,
this is one of those scenes.
Don't worry, I'll throw some grappling hooks at him.
Now you've made him mad.
Well,
yeah, so.
RP やってる人からすると
Apparently that's what happens when you throw, 16,000 grappling hooks at someone.
So that's a bomber, not a boomer. There's a difference.
That was last game.
Yeah, exactly. This is not Left 4 Dead.
So, we're headed to this village. It's to collect more extortion money. That's a thing we're doing right now.
I like how every time I break my legs, the game is like, hey, you should try not doing that.
Luckily, our very strong weapons make very quick work of everything here. So, once all the zombies are dead, he has to close that door. Threaten a couple more people, especially from outside.
Yeah, I'm knocking on the wall, just yelling at him.
I mean, why would you use the door?
You don't need a door.
Walls are about as good as doors are in this game.
すごいぞこのフックショット腕も。これ腕ちぎれないんですかね。水の中の抵抗がやばいと思うんですけど。
One little detail is that if you're underwater, you do actually move very slightly slower when you grapple.
Yep. It's not much, and we rarely ever grapple underwater anyway, so.
そうですね、ここまで基本お使いゲーなので、なんかいろいろサブやったり、スキルポイントを貯めたりしてうまくやっていくゲームなんですけど、スキルポイントはもう関係ねえというか、もう貯めちゃったので一気に。この技を使ってスキルポイントを使っているアイテムを増殖させて。
The voice actor in French just really phoned it in for this one.
Everybody but Jade, let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
the main enemy, like the main antagonist of the game, just does not sound threatening. So. But Charity and French is technically the fastest language.
That is true.
Sadly.
Not every day can we have Telemundo Crane.
That's true. Spanish is objectively the best language for this game because Crane's voice is like 8 octaves deep.
It is.
He sounds so good.
So, you found that guy, and I'm going to be running back to Rise.
He had like a...
そうですね、フックショットの何がすごいかって必ずまっすぐ移動しているっていうのがすごいですよね。
Took a little nap.
一体これは
while I'm waiting for us to finish, I can just kind of dork around, running around.
針金とかですね。
Climbing stuff actually does slightly give me experience, so I try to climb a couple of things just here and there. And there we go.
Non, j'espère pas.
ダイジェスト YouTube にアップされるかまでは僕は知らないですもんね。すいません。
But we kinda have to anyways. We have to at least go for it.
I think we've gotten it like twice in once of running.
So he's gonna throw a grenade here. We're both gonna kind of stand on it. I'm gonna get completely
今回はデッドアイランドはないですね。まあないので、まあもし見たかったら逆に自分が RTA をして AGDQ に応募して出ましょう。
But we need this side quest regardless. So going forward is pretty much worth it, even though that Death Warp is absolutely like 3 or 4 times as hard as it is in solo.
Yeah, it's ridiculously hard to hit. It would save about a minute if we got it right, but
on the bright side, now they can try and show off a bit of a silly thing with the animations in this game.
Because we fell off, I don't think we can do that one actually. Nope.
Yeah, so I have to get all the way there. If we both had stayed on it, it would have recognized us both as being there.
There we go.
So only one of us would have been required to trigger it.
Since we missed it, we've got plenty of time for donations through the rest of this.
All right, here goes. We received a $50 donation.
This is
second year watching, first time donating. I lost 3 grandparents to cancer, and understatement, it sucks. Well done, all runners. You're doing a great job kicking cancer's butt. Keep up the heckin' good work, Taylor. You're doing so great, and the group chat is proud of you. Message is signed, Juliana and Brian.
Thanks, Juliana.
Also have $20 here from Brian Otto, who says, "Hi, Fun Ganon. Hi, Prolix. Much love to both of you. Look forward to learning more about this game. Love the grapple movement. Thanks for doing what you do, TFC." And he says, "Fun cheers," which appears to be an emote. And P.S. Prolix, you're the best. Oh, thank you.
All right.
Now, Prolix, was that actually in there? Or did you just add that?
You know, PS is postscript or Prolix script, one of the two. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe both.
All right. So that was me delivering my other supply drops, so I can now get my legend levels. I'm just gonna go up and get another phone call. Unfortunately, this one we can skip consistently though.
Yeah. As long as we do the right thing, this skip is consistent, which is a weird way of saying we get it every time.
Exactly.
I mean, now that you've said that,
if we miss it, I'm gonna be really sad.
Got ahead of myself.
Distracted me, man. You started running up the stairs, and I was like, "Oh, stairs time." So I have to. One of my things is that I have to be a really good gauge of whether I'm far away enough to teleport. I'm gonna get up on the tower.
Sure.
Also, that ramp right there is the hardest thing in the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it, but it's ridiculously hard.
But I have to be a really good judge of whether to teleport to him or run to him, because it only saves a small amount of time either way.
So we're going to be setting up a trick here where we're both going to die on top of the trigger. And that's going to make the game think that when one of us goes back up to hit it again, that we both hit it. And so I can be in a different location. And that will let us skip it through grabbing side quests.
The trigger for that call to happen is literally the entire roof. And see, I just missed the ramp jump again.
I'm telling you, man, it's the real final boss.
It is pretty hard. So I'm going to get the call right here. He's going to start the quest, and I'm just going to teleport away.
Once
ま
he
た
starts talking.
また上げてますね、レジェンド。あ、またじゃないですね。さっきは左の方が上げてたんですけど、次は右の方がレジェンドレベルを上げて、ボス戦に備えていますね。
Only one of us has had to skip dialogue so far. This guy, halfway through, just cuts it out and gives it to the other person. So, talk to Jade, and then FD's going to have to skip the last line.
Yeah, for whatever reason. We don't know. And then we're going to quickly warp back to gassed up.
All right. So here an interesting bug happens. Because of that death warp, it doesn't have my progression properly tracked. So I'm now forever at that quest. And every time we quit, it's going to try to put me back there. So this takes just a little bit longer to load back in. But True Land is pretty nice.
Lavash.
Lavash. Crane says something every time you load in after this on every language, and there are only a couple where they're actually good.
In English, doesn't he just scream?
No, he says a swear word, which is naughty.
Oh yeah, I remember.
We're good and pure here.
Exactly.
Oh.
He didn't take damage, so it's fine.
I wasn't looking at it, so it was okay.
That's right. Well, now we're going to school. We need to learn a few things about zombies.
Specifically that if you shoot them, they die.
This is easily one of the best areas, movement-wise, in the entire run. It's really fast-paced.
Really tight corridors. All the fun stuff.
That's not the way. Just Firecat go like horizontal through that window.
Yeah, the animations for the other person just don't look right like any time ever.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of animations that just
especially dropkick.
Especially dropkick.
Especially dropkick.
So I'm gonna show off something fun. This guy, invincible until he stands up. So there were a couple runs where I shot him. He stood up and proceeded to hit me in the back of the head and kill me.
And at this point, we're basically trying to look for a temporary zombie cure-ish thing. It's like one of the most valuable things in this universe.
And Rise controls most of it because of course he does.
Because plot.
How could it be a warlord without it?
Yeah. You know, you got your guns, you got your men, you got your zombie cure.
Oh, good shot. It's one of the big reasons we look for a shotgun in making our save files, because it is absolutely overpowered even without the legend levels.
So you'll notice I always put away my gun when I run. It doesn't have any effect on your movement, I'm pretty sure. It just, I like it that way. It feels better. There's a boomer behind me, but I'm just ignoring it, and it didn't kill me. Great.
One of my favorite things in that entire segment is just that one of them picked up the key, and through the magic of being the same person, they both have it.
We are the same person.
Exactly.
It's easy.
These enemies are required to kill, and then we can just kind of get out.
And also note, so collision between both of them, and then also friendly fire does not exist. They cannot shoot each other.
Though I can vault off of him.
Yes.
Because, I don't know.
This game is great at being consistent.
Yeah. I mean, can't you do parkour off your own self?
I do that every day.
Every day.
Wait, is that not how you get out of bed, FC?
No.
You're doing it wrong.
Apparently. Right. So quickly back to the tower. at this point, we're going to meet a guy that we were supposed to meet in the intro, but we didn't meet him. So his name is Raheem. He'll last
10 minutes?
Something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow, spoilers.
Here's the thing, though. I really like Raheem. Like, all of the characters besides Crane in this game are really well written. Crane is just... He has trouble deciding his motivation, and it really kills, like, any sense of attachment that you have to him.
On the other hand, as he said, all the other characters are pretty great.
Yeah. Jade especially is one of the greater ones.
If
I go fast enough there, I can try to run off the edge, and I've never managed to make it.
You gotta go fast.
If you never managed to make it, how do you know you can actually do it?
Hush.
一人はスライ回収しに行って、一人はメイン
Save quitting here actually gets us back downstairs a little bit faster.
そのポイントまで行く
This next section is
ことがで
actually
きるので、かなりの短縮にな
one
っ
of
て
the
ます。
only
で、
time
かなりの
specific
短縮をし
things
て
in the
ま
room,
で
so I'm
も
actually
1
gonna
時間
open the room
45
to
分、
check
目
what
標タイ
time
ム
it
1 時
is.
間
Alright.
45分なので、
Plenty of time.
Plenty.
相当内
Each
容が
minute
濃い
in
で
game
す
is about
ね
a。second.
普通
So
に
I've
や
got
るだ
about
けでも。
29 seconds to get to the next thing, including talking to the core master here.
T'inquiète pas pour moi.
So I have to book it. Meanwhile, he's just gonna be running to the next area after that.
Yeah, they have about 25 seconds to get to this enemy.
Yeah, it's a little less than 1-to-1 on the seconds.
And also, this enemy only spawns at night.
Yeah.
So they definitely need to get here, otherwise they lose a bunch of time.
But we are good.
Doc, ça y est. J'ai des boyaux de zombies pour toi.
Nice and easy.
And then here I'm actually going to delay my save quit a little bit because it apparently just makes the dialogue skip
そうで
coming
す
up
ね。グ
more
リッチ
consistent.
は壁
Hopefully I
抜
didn't go too
軽い壁抜けとか、あとアイテム
I mean,
増
as I
殖
said,
な
this
どし
game
てい
is
ました
great at
ね。
making sense. So consistent.
まあ正直壁抜きがな
It
く
just
ても
stops
まあ
searching
こ
for
のフ
games
ック
after
シ
a
ョット
certain
があるん
point.
で、
So if I try to join too early, it's just
ま
like,
あ
well,
別
nobody's playing
に
online.
なくても良さそう
We got
な
it, so we're
感じ
good.
ですね。
Otherwise, I would be able to get there like 10 or 15 seconds early.
Je pars chercher
Meanwhile, it's,
Raïm.
the objective I'm going to is already active instead. So it's a really big dialogue skip that I don't know why it works, but it does.
So we're trying to find Raheem, and
左の
we're
人は
supposed to
もう
look through
待
this
機してい
entire
るようで
like
すね、次の。
Oh, that guy
train
also had
station,
jelly.
T'es où?
but Raheem is actually just right through this door.
J'ai trouvé des cadavres.
Doc, I think they need more peanut
Take a
butter.
break
Trace
real
de
quick.
Raïm.
Ride the bus.
Too many
Oui,
sandwiches.
il allait se cacher à la gare de Trial.
Exactly.
Normal passenger.
All right, cool. Hey, audience, are you here, by the way? Hello? Hi. All right. We're going to have a little fun with this. So there's competitions in the story mode they're required to do. Can I get this half of the room to cheer for Fun Cannon and this half of the room to cheer for Emerald? Can we do that? Cool.
Awesome.
There's a prompt on screen. It will count you in.
ただ、
This is the challenge.
Yeah, this is a difficult enemy that we have to kill.
Oh, cool. Ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1.
We both lose.
Oh.
Oh.
So
もうちょっとよくわかんなかったんですけど、拍手が。なんかうまくやったようですね。
Don't worry, you'll get your chance later.
There are real ones, we promise.
yeah, so because we killed that enemy too early, the game's like, well, there are no enemies left, and neither of you killed anything, so you both lose.
De retour à la surface.
Game's pretty rude.
Yeah.
Extremely. Here he's actually just going to sit and wait because there are really only 2 things that we need to do in this room, in this building. And even if he got to the second one instantly after I placed the first one, it would still be slower to get out of this area. So
Hey, Amy, what's that thing up in the sky?
You know, that's a grapple point. Don't worry about it. It'll never be relevant, ever.
absolutely
I'm
not.
sure.
Absolutely not.
Je l'ai.
おっと、
Let's go hide in our corner of bodies.
Oh, hello.
So
We just kind of
grapple the air, and then grapple the ground. Now we're out of bounds.
And that's a good indication of how simple it is at times to get out of bounds in this game.
now we're back in bounds.
It is
right, I am in
普
limbo,
通にやるとここまで早くて8時間ぐらい
I got you, man.
それを今
I don't think I've ever seen
30
that
分で
happen.
ここまで来てる
It definitely happens.
The game does not like you going back inbounds after you've been out of bounds, so sometimes it's like, hey, you're gonna wait here for a little
Actually, that's a
bit.
good point. It might be harder to get back in bounds in Dying Light than it is to get out of bounds.
It's really, really easy to get back inbounds. It's just sometimes it doesn't like you doing that.
Well, to be fair, it's also very, very easy to get out of bounds.
Yeah. There's some times where you can just climb out of bounds.
Yep.
Not
Which
any inputs other than just forward.
Really good programming.
It's like really easy for a casual player to do that too, which is pretty funny. And there's a couple places where it is actually useful to do that.
All right.
Havash.
So this is kind of the point where things are starting to go not so well for us in the story. Our doctor friend Zera has been kidnapped.
まず序盤のスキルだと夜に行動
Rise has
でき
pretty
ない
much
ん
figured
で
out who we are by this point, and just things are
稼い
not,
だりなんだりの
not
時
good
間もあるので
in
どうしても
general.
時間がかかるそうですね
Merde, Bracken. Zéré a
Really
été
quickly, I'm
kidnappé.
going to run in
Caravane
here
est en feu.
for a dialogue skip. We've got a quest right here.
Yeah. B.
Qu'est-ce qu'il faut?
アタッ
D'accord.
ク
And
で
then once the quest actually updates, we can warp, but since it takes a couple seconds, we're both gonna get more
ゲ
ammo.
ームをやめて
Okay,
リス
good.
ポ
Then we got
ー
stuff.
ンですね
So we're gonna be infiltrating Rise's garrison. It's no longer a safe zone for us, and we're going in through the top rather than just the front door like we would have before.
It's like Santa Claus. We're gonna leave presents for him.
In some ways, yes, we are Santa Claus. Never thought I would say that.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Cal Crane, aka Santa
普
Claus.
通ならパルクールをしていくところなんですけ
Oh
ど
god.
もこれがあ
Yeah,
る
so
おか
fire
げで
hurts a
パ
little
ル
bit
ク
in this
ー
game,
ル
and if you wind up standing in it, it drains your health really quick. I know that's kind of a silly thing to say because fire should hurt you in every game, but it hurts a lot more in this
なん
game.
だって感じ
Note that we are playing on the easiest difficulty. With how quickly we can still be
まあ正
killed
直
by
この
enemies,
ね
I have
中
never
盤
actually
に使
played
え
on
るこ
Nightmare,
の
and I'm not sure
ア
I
イ
want
テ
to.
ムがすごい楽し
So
い
there's a clip here that used to save only 1 second.
Et si Crane? J'aurais
And
besoin
if FC
d'assistance
gets
du
it,
GRE.
it will save more than 1 second. Because it's the new
一体
stuff.
これは何を
It's
して
very
い
weirdly
るんだ
This part is
Quoi?
actually kind of the harder part.
Oh, come on.
You just kind of like jump at this
お
wall.
っと壁抜け
I've seen
Hopefully
them
we
get
both
this
get-
first try
there we go.
plenty of times. I've seen it take
There we go.
a long time.
So we're gonna save the second plus the second plus all the time we're gonna save from FC going out of bounds here.
If I actually get it in
Yann,
time.
If he gets it.
ici. Un type du nom de Zéré.
海面というか終わらない
This one is pretty tricky.
Probably the hardest
Courage,
side
ただ
hop
の
clip in
お
the
遊
game.
びなのかもしれない
dans une ville ravagée pourrait trouver un vaccin et... bon. Vous avez 48 heures.
It is worth noting that all this attempting isn't really losing time.
Yeah. Because I still so the 1 second saved is I open the door from the other side,
もう
and
一
then I
人
can
は
just leave.
進んでいますね
Alright, I'm gonna give it one more
で
try.
もう片方の方も進み出したってことは
If I don't get it this time, we'll
遊んで
just
た
follow you.
のかな
Nah. Okay, that's completely fine. It really only saves about 5-10 seconds.
Yeah. He just activates a trigger further on to spawn some
あ
enemies.
の
But with co-op, he's able to go through the door that I opened before I finish opening it.
もう本当に洗練されていますね
Slight bit of time save.
I would have ended up right here at the end of the clip.
Just
敵を一発
I
で
hooked
倒
that guy
して
right
い
in the
く
buttocks.
Ça a l'air vide.
もう敵なんていなかったこれ
Never
は
ignored
強
the
す
door.
ぎる
I can handle that.
You got it.
Okay, this area is actually very dangerous.
もっと強いはずなん
Enemies
で
can
すけ
kill
ど
them
も
very quickly,
一
and there are
発
a
で
lot of things that can blow up and kill them very quickly. They may be strong, but so are the enemies here.
See, I got shot twice there. Lost almost all my health. That's a good chunk. Alright, that was really clean.
Yeah. Nice.
Nicely done.
Good job. So, coming up next is the pit. The pit is probably remembered by casual players as a really, really difficult section of this game. It is, in my opinion, when I played it, unreasonably hard. Because what Rise does is he takes away all of your weapons, all of your armor, everything you have, and you have to kill a bunch of zombies with just your fists. And you'll remember from earlier in the game, when I was fist fighting a zombie, that we're not very strong. But in between then and now, Crane has decided to get swole.
What was it, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 10 kilometers a day, every day?
Yeah, 100 crunches, I think, too.
Yeah, something like that.
It's been a while.
And he's balding because of it, something like that.
Yeah.
He also just like shoots his own men, but like that's sure.
Yeah, this is also how ineffective Rise is as a villain in other terms. Is that he has you right in front of him and just is like, hey, let's watch Crane kill some zombies instead of just killing you.
Also, audience, are you still here? Woo! Guess what? It's your turn to chip into the run again.
This one's real, we promise.
This one is not a fake out. Don't worry about it.
ぶん殴ってゾンビを倒していく。
こ
んな簡単なことではないと思うんですけども、人間がやっぱり最強なのか。RTA だとやっぱ人間が最強になってしまうのか。
Come on, Evelyn, you're losing. Catch up. Come on, Evelyn's winning. He's got no job. He's tied. Who's gonna get the last ones? Evelyn takes the lead at the last second. Come on. This is actually a lot closer than normal.
This is really close.
Oh, no. Fun Cannon's the winner.
Fun Cannon wins.
真ん中下に映っている2人だとです。この人たちがラストスペースか。
Good job, crowd.
So that's one of 3 forced competitions throughout the run. Another one's coming up in like 30 seconds, and then there's another one a little bit later in the game. So guys, I promise I'm gonna do better for you. Thank you.
So this is actually an introduction to a very annoying enemy type called a Demolisher. They charge you, they have a bunch of armor, and
they're pretty hard to kill.
The strat used to be lure them into some spikes and kill them.
一体これはボクシングのゲームなんですかね。
That was it.
Man, I thought those things were supposed to be
プロボ
hard.
クサーだ。
So they were.
Running zombies are also technically meant to be harder. They have a little more health than other ones, and they dodge pretty easily. But with the Fist of Fury, you just run up to them and.
Also, this is the Caesars we were talking about at one point. Yeah. The sign that the Anizen that's in our system, since we're infected, is wearing off. Yeah. And wearing off fast.
Because, again, reminder, Crane has been bitten by a zombie and is slowly turning into one.
And here, he is giving us a nice little present, a med kit.
Yeah.
Ignoring the 16,000 we had earlier.
Maybe he stole it from us.
All right, get ready, crowd. 1, go.
おー、落ちてしまいました、左の方。右の方は順調に登り続けている。これはレースだ。
This climb could actually prove for one of them to fall. There's a lot of rebars over here.
There we go.
Oh, Evelyn slipped.
Listen.
Oh, he's not that far behind. He can still make this up.
You said you were going to do better.
I am doing better.
Yep.
RNG can still make this go poorly.
There's still plenty of parts that could just fall out.
This is.
Come on, let's get some more hype in here. There's a race. It's a race.
That jump right there is my least favorite because the rebar sticking up out of the ground is just horrifically coded, and it's. Well, I mean, it's meant to prevent you from going out of bounds, but I don't like that.
Tried to grab the ledge there, but it didn't work.
Should I go for risky strats?
Go for it.
Do it.
You may as well.
Hey.
You saved a little bit of time. He's making up some ground. Except for he doesn't have legs right now, apparently. He's just going to jump everywhere.
Well, it's faster to jump through water than it is to sprint. But that's it.
Fun Cannon won the second one. No worry, you can still redeem yourself later.
As long as
you have one more competition.
Oops.
Wait.
There we go.
There we go.
バイオハザードなどの前に
You got one more chance.
Yeah.
I believe.
And I'm pretty good at the third challenge, so.
It's true.
We're talking a big game.
Yeah.
So the game takes away our sprinting completely at this point. It's supposed to be this long-winded walking section. But instead, we're just channeling Castlevania, OOT, whichever you want, and back hopping between them.
Yeah, there's an ability that if you press space in a direction, you dodge in that direction. And they neglected to realize that doing that through here is incredibly fast.
You do have to dodge zombies and other obstacles while you can't see them, though. Sometimes you just kind of plow them down.
To be fair, this is pretty low on the list of things they could have remembered.
You know, that's right.
Alright, now's a great time for donations.
Shock, what are hands?
So Daniel-san sent in a $10 donation here and says, the fun cannon is who got me into watching speedrunning with his amazing Borderlands 2 runs. I lost my cousin last month at an early age to liver cancer, so this event is very important to me, and I'm glad to see us gamers and everyone at AGDQ come together to make a difference. Money to Runner's Choice. And Amy, do I see a postscript here? I think it said PS. Like, the fun cannon is so much better at these competitions than Amy.
Shot.
Just
wow.
I'm detecting some shade here.
Then we also have $40 from Shaky Bone. Shaky Bone says, had to donate for one of my favorite games that I played with my grandfather. Yes, I swear this donation came in during this run. Shaky Bone has a cool grandfather. Thank you to everybody at AGDQ for everything you guys do. Let's save the frames, kill the cancer. Thanks, Shaky Bone.
Yo, I wanted to play Dying Light with my grandpa. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Kidding. Alright, so in terms of plot at this point, we're running away from Rise, and this group that we're going to now is fabled to get us out of this part of the city and into a different part of the city. And they do, but at a certain cost.
This is Chank or Cool Shirt Guy, because that's a pretty cool shirt. I like the logo on it. You know, it's the small things in this game. He just shuts the door in your face.
What a rude dude.
I know.
He thinks this cool shirt just makes him all high and mighty.
Yeah. Oh, also we cut off Rise's hand.
Yeah, that was one of the cutscenes we skipped. Minor plot point, you know.
Side note?
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. Later in the game, Rise just doesn't have a hand. And
it'll kind of come into play at one of these unskippable cutscenes. So, now we have the sewers. They're probably the hardest part of this run in terms of movement and, clips that we do.
Yeah, it's really easy to go out of bounds in the sewer, and it's equally easy to accidentally get back in bounds in the sewer.
Since we are just going to be running to it, though, we have plenty of time for another donation or two.
Oh, so we've had some donations.
Yeah, that happens.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, no problem. Gravity takes priority here. Yes.
I'm not sure what that was.
So we've had donations toward our runners, toward yours truly. Here's another one. It's from Istrick for $150. I hope this isn't a trick. Sorry. Okay, this is my second year watching AGDQ. Thanks to all the runners, attendees, and those behind the scenes who have made this event possible, especially Jacob P. Let's save those seconds and lives. So there you go, Jacob, whoever you are. Someone out there loves you.
So this save quit that we're doing right now is actually just to warp the NPC that we have to deal with forward, because he is the slowest escort mission that exists anywhere. I promise he's so slow.
But I thought escort missions were the best part of games.
No.
They are. They're great. I love them. So I said earlier that you could buffer a B input. You actually can't do that here when you're loading in. So I kind of have to judge it right. There we go.
Okay. So I'm just going to quickly side hop clip through this. Really quick.
Yeah. What are fences?
There we go.
Yeah,
oh, it gets better.
There's going to be more of this.
There's a lot of backgrounds in
here. Grapple there, and you just kind of climb through that grate.
Yep.
Works.
Just kind of this game.
Hit a couple triggers there to make sure this area doesn't soft lock. Hit 2 of them there.
If I step too far to my left here, I go back inbounds, which is why I've been really careful about that.
That was weird. Right, There's another trigger that I had to hit.
Go up here.
I believe.
So this is out of bounds, even though it doesn't look like it. Oh, never mind.
Well, you were saying?
I think I actually missed one of the triggers.
Oh, and there's water there.
Yeah. So I'm a lot further on in the sewers, but if I grapple down to here, now I'm back inbounds where I want to be.
Work for me, buddy.
Okay, so I climb up to here.
There we go. I actually have the death warp here, I think. Missed the trigger to spawn a zombie, which is very important. It does not work without it.
Yeah. So meanwhile, I'm just setting up for a little further on. This courtyard is the next major trigger we go through.
Okay. That's a grenade. That's probably fine. Okay.
I mean, it's whatever. You have like 16,000.
Well, it's more just kill myself. Get down. Brain is not paying attention. Alright, there we go. Definitely worth that time.
Brain seems a little distracted today.
A little bit.
Yeah, this is the part of the run where the most can go wrong. Like these out of bounds are so finicky. Okay, man, easy every time.
First try.
First try.
First try, every try.
Yeah. If no one knows, no one can tell you differently.
And this is kind of the point where you realize that you're being betrayed, that they're selling out two guys.
Plot twists.
Now if you do this next section right, I can actually skip the swimming section here, but it's a very, very hard grapple. No, did not get it.
Oh yeah, the best swimming motion, by the way, in the game. You just raise your hands, you swim faster.
So
feel free to join in.
Yeah. It's faster to hold C and swim against the ground. And if you look down, Crane does this motion.
Gotta raise the water out of the way.
Yeah, dude.
Alright, cool.
So as soon as he survives this ambush, I can start moving again. Because it's difficult ambush, by the way.
I don't know where he is. Okay.
Ooh, 360 no scope, dude.
Right.
That was terrifying.
So I have to...
Still didn't give you the
so
dialogue.
I have to actually wait here for a dialogue now. That should be it. There we go. So I go in here, all the way up to the top. There we go.
Nice.
Hey, if that's the worst this run goes, I'm okay with that.
If that's the worst thing that happens, we did pretty good.
まあようやくこのフックショットが取れそうな感じになる
Dang it. She's gonna fall there.
One big note is that even though we can teleport to each other, we tend to both go to these places. A, to have a backup in case someone accidentally falls or anything else like that, and B, it is actually faster if we go at the exact same time and get there, because you don't have to wait for the warp animation.
Yeah, it saves a couple seconds on warping every time. It's not like the worst thing in the world if we don't make it, because he also spawns in a couple seconds before me, and so he has the couple seconds of movement, which, as you can kind of tell by this game, is pretty large.
That was a hard fall for no reason. That just kind of happens. Yep. Just kind of happens. Now, the best NPC in the game kind of stares at us for a couple of seconds.
これはもしかしたら PSO 出ている新入の巨人なのかもしれないですね。すごい動きしてますし。
And now we go right back to where we just were. It would be really convenient if we could leave one person there. One person. So place, but didn't work out that way.
This tower is will become important later as an object of hatred for a little bit.
で、ファイオイベント。
There's another side quest that we need for warping later.
まあ、パルクールといったらアサシンクリードもありますしね。いろんなやっぱりゲームがあります。
On to more sewers.
Yep.
これもこれですごい通常プレイだともっと面白いと思うんで。
They've tried a lot.
Yeah, we spent about 30 minutes one day literally just looking for out of bounds in one section of the map and couldn't get it. So that's
we're
not
not there yet.
Yeah. That's not saying it's not impossible. It's just
we haven't found one.
Yeah.
You're a little ahead of yourself. To blow up the ovens first.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, you know, whatever.
Close enough.
All right, so there's out of bounds here. My bad. There's not out of bounds later.
そうですね。このマップのフィードは気持ちいいですね。
Our friend Michael, and the basic plan is we're writing a message to the
ここでまた
ministry who have taken over the people that we were originally working for, and they're just trying to bomb the city completely, even though there are still living people and not just all zombies.
Oh yeah, they just clipped through a fence again. Don't worry about it.
It's ridiculously easy to do.
フックがあることによってもよく分かってない。
You kind of get up on a fence and then look at it and then side hop through it.
Fences just don't exist.
Yeah.
And I grapple into this room to actually skip the Caesar animation.
The Caesar.
Look, man. No bully.
No bully.
Man, I think that guy's trying to cosplay his crane. He's got that nice yellow shirt. He just needs a flashlight.
そのゲームのキャラ変えて巨人としたら売れそう。もうあるんだよな。
So there's a bit of a complicated out of bounds here. I'm gonna go for it. It'll only save a couple seconds if I actually do get it. So if I miss it, it's not the worst thing. But FC is gonna also go for it because it will help us skip a cutscene of a baby.
まあこれはもう進撃の巨人であり、スパイダーマンでもあり、タイタンフォールでもあり、デッドライキングじゃない、ダイイングライトでもあり。
Otherwise, whoever misses it has to climb all the way up this elevator shaft because, surprise, surprise, a broken down elevator stops working.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
So this is Party Body. He's just hanging out.
Ready?
Oh, he actually got out of the way. Great.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna go ahead and climb instead of grapple. Good job, Crane.
I at least got it, so good.
Really?
As long as one of us gets this, it's not the worst. But it is definitely better when both of us do.
There we go.
Gonna throw a couple firecrackers to distract the zombies in here. Then we're setting the walkie-talkie bombs.
So I can't grapple until I get out of this hole because when you have a seizure, you can't use a grappling hook.
It's a known fact.
Yeah. I'm trying to go out of bounds right here, and actually I heard the zombie spawn already, so I missed my timing on it. Whatever, I'll leave him alone. Hello, please. Oh, that's a boomer. Yeah, I'm dead.
It's a bomber.
I mean a bomber, not a boomer.
Maybe. Blow up already. Thank you.
フェンスを抜けて、フェンスというか柵を抜けて壁抜けをして、上から入りましたね。
There you go.
Nicely done.
So that's the out of bounds I was going for.
That's a lot harder than it looks.
Way harder than that. So that skipped the cutscene with a kid that you can actually hear crying. But I'm now kind of stuck in this room as well.
Good, this elevator opened. We were doing practice and this elevator door wasn't open and I had to figure out a way into here.
It was very strange.
Yeah, so this is Party Body. He's hanging out in the elevator.
I also kind of have to wait for Michael to
die.
Get through all of his... Look, man, you spoiled it.
Everyone dies in this game.
Hey, Amy. What? Why don't you try and push that body to the other side of the elevator?
So you actually can't kick him because he doesn't have collision.
Oh, that's a shame.
But you can...
飛行
you
機
can
が
like
通って
run
い
into
る
him
ん
with
で
your
上
body,
に
and the floor.
生きている
Just
よ
kind
み
of
たい
slide through the floor.
な空爆がされる
It's because we skipped the
この街
baby
に
cutscene.
空爆が落とされ
I
るみた
don't
い
know why, but that
な話
it
で
does. So
Yeah,
で
if we could somehow get
それはや
that
ばい
body over to
で
that side, all the cutscenes are rendered in worlds, so you could actually have that body just sitting
こ
there.
の
Yep. Just turn around and
で
look,
も
and he's still there.
そうなんですかね。
okay.
まあやっぱり
I'm just gonna ignore them.
人間はやっぱ小さいんで見えにくいんでわざと大きいものをかわして来ているよって知らせたかった。
I can words, I swear.
Yeah, words, easy. Grapple, hello.
You can words better than the voice actors.
Okay, that's not a high bar.
Good point.
So, another thing is we could be creating competitions through here, as you can see, but we decided not to because it's slower. It makes us stop and wait.
It's kind of one of those useless out of bounds that I just did there. You can just climb.
Hey, swag strats.
No, it's only swag if it's slower and loses time.
Well,
Or slower but looks cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now the level design is going to change a little bit. As we mentioned, they weren't supposed to have the grappling hook as early as they did. So now some areas of the level are going to be restricted for grappling hooks because the game now expects you to have the grappling hook at this point. So they'll have to take slightly different routes than they want to take just because the game's like, no, you can't grapple here.
Yeah. So I do a little bit of a quest skip there. I find a poster that promotes a challenge, and that quest dialogue skips everything else in the quest we were looking at. So Jade, who we have never met, is called the Scorpion in game.
最後の生存者のインタビューと題したテレビ放送があっては結局行われるという流れだったんです。なるほど。
Closest quest being Rupert the Gunsmith.
で、ここでようやく1時間が経過しましたね。あと45分ですね。目標タイム的にはもう半分は終わっている感じです。
If we actually did this game with all the
この
cutscenes, I
街に
believe
来てる
it'd
っ
be
て
like
こ
an
とで
extra
もう
2 or
半分
3
は普通に
hours.
終わって
It's
いる。
really long.
Ridiculous. So,
ゾンビよりやべえやつが2人いるから爆撃は正解なんだよな。
Note that you can grapple towards the ground
これはそう
to
かもしれない。
save yourself
パ
from
ン
getting
チ
a
一
hard
発で
fall.
ゾンビを
Just going faster
倒してい
is
く。
safer.
Yeah, very just cause-ish.
それはやべえやつなん
Just
だ
kind
な。
of burst into the room, yell at him, ask him what's going on.
He looks very scared.
Extremely.
All in front of his kid, by the way.
Flash a light in his face a few times. Oh, got stuck on the door.
で、ここはリス
Did too, actually.
ポーンをするのかな。リス
And
ポー
then
ンしま
once
した
that
ね。
actually switches, which it did, we can save quit. Which, if you didn't get enough swimming earlier, you're about to get a lot more of it.
Yeah, it's the worst part of the game.
Clinic's pretty close.
Clinic is bad, but at least you can like mess around there.
ゾンビだって元は人間だし、プロレスラーに殴られたらパンパン。
I'm also going to be kind of channeling our inner
この
Assassin's
主
Creed
人
here.
公はエージェント兼プロレスラーだった。
I'll just walk off the edge here, land on the garbage.
Easy.
Just fine.
Nothing sharp in garbage ever.
Oh, definitely not. No metal, no
Yeah.
needles, no nothing.
It's actually because you do that jump, I don't spawn on top of the tower, I spawn down here.
Nice.
So I'm trying to get agility level 5 here, just by vaulting over these zombies. Gives me a lot of experience.
Boing.
And night is going to start soon, which will double the experience I get, so I can get it a little bit faster.
ここで壁
There's
抜けを
a
してきま
minor
し
little
た
out of
ね
bounds。here.
軽々
Takes
と。
probably about 5 seconds. Got it. Very nice.
Nice.
There we go.
意外と壁抜けれるんですね。思った以上に。
So what I was saying earlier, this is the part where we've been looking for out of bounds for quite a while and haven't found any. If we had them, we'd save easily a minute, probably more.
みんな後ろでやってます
We
ね。
still have to hit the triggers because this game is
踊りじゃね
very, very rigid
泳
with
ぎ
those,
方。
but
これが一番早い。
we'd probably still be able to find
もし
some
か
way
したら
past
世界水泳とかでこの泳ぎ方が
Swimming along.
Great time for donations here.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of the voice acting, as we were earlier, StabF sent in $40 and said, not sure if anyone has pointed this out yet, but Lavac, what Crane says in French, literally translates to the cow. So thanks. That's all I'm going to think about when playing Dying Light now.
Yep.
Also have a $30 donation that's sent in from Utsu. Thank you, Utsu. They say, hey, FC, Amy, and Prolix. Good to see this hilariously fun-to-watch run at a GDQ. My grandfather had cancer in his 60s, but because of funding to charities like this, he was able to receive immediate treatment. Put my money to Shockwave's choice. So Pop Quiz Shockwave, the donation people.
I will get back to you on that. I am not prepared for that.
Break more witches, all collectibles.
I'll get back to you on
Wow.
One more here, just to up the stakes a little bit on our competitions. $20 from Das Holy Fork, who says, been watching Games Done Quick for a few years. Thanks to all the runners and staff that make such an amazing event possible. Girder, go fast. P.S. This run is amazing. That was their P.S., I swear. Another 20 if Amerlin takes the third challenge.
Yes. I just drop-kicked the door accidentally, so it's not looking too good for me.
There you go.
FC, you gotta throw for charity.
That's no fun.
You're
What's
right.
more important, pride or $20?
I gotta work for it.
That's true.
All right.
You probably wouldn't donate if FC just threw.
It's another kind of scary fight.
Yeah, because we gun very good, but they also gun very good.
It's basically a glass cannon versus a glass cannon.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not a fun cannon?
Oh my god.
左下があれですね。目安です。
I'm sorry, I had to.
目安です。で真ん中。
So if I lift this shutter for him, and he goes through it and then runs away really fast, I take the seizure for both of us, and he doesn't get it at all.
Taking one for the team.
ここはゾンビとか敵が
Like those
い
competitions.
るんですけど、どんどんスルーをしていきますね。
I mean, I live with him. I have to deal with this later. So that's true.
ここら辺
This is one of the biggest
最後の方なんで
reasons why we level up Vault.
すご
To
い
just kind of jump over all the zombies in this section.
気がするん
It
で
used
す
to be
け
a
ど、
problem for me to hit level 4, which is why I routed in
ま
those
あ
flags.
レジェンダリースキルといってスキルがなんかすごい強くなっているので、まあ無問題。
These zombies are actually stronger than normal, but if I throw grenades or things, they can get cleared out pretty quick.
Should be it.
The only problem is you can't tell when a lot of these are dead because they're markers on the
Remember, let me open the door.
on the
でこれで
on the
こ
actual
の
map
子を助け
don't
に来た
appear.
んですけ
So
れ
every once in a while
ども
they'll just be laying on the ground, not dead, but you can't tell.
So this is Jade, our love interest. She's very well written. I actually really like her
で
character
先
throughout
ほ
the
ど出
game.
てきた
Honestly, she's probably the best written character.
悪
Yeah,
いやつ
in equal combination with Rise, who for all his posturing is actually pretty cool.
He has a lot of, he had a huge potential as a villain.
Yeah.
Also, audience, you still here? All right, start warming up. The competition's coming up.
Last one.
Last one.
Can you redeem yourself for $20?
You better.
I'll do it. I believe.
Hold up, I'll give you a little quick shoulder massage.
If you don't, just know that if
基
you
本的
don't
に
pull
は
this
ゾ
off,
ンビがいっぱい出てくるんで
you're gonna have to live with that.
I'll have to live with the
で
fact that I
どっち
lost all
が
three competitions.
Not only that, but you lost $20 for
You get
charity.
ready?
I took away my firing.
3, 2, 1, go!
左の下方
Everyone's starting off super strong. It's already got 10 kills versus Fun Cannon's 4.
That was
Destroyed!
so
Fun
fast.
Cannon!
Well done.
So I actually have a little bit of advantage there. The zombies spawn close to me, but forget I said that. I totally crushed that one.
Hey, no, it's okay. FC had an advantage in competition too.
That's right.
It's even.
So there's some clever bookending here. They never focus on it directly, but you can actually see a bite on Jade's leg right there. She got bit as in fact infected, and Rise has the biggest throw in the game.
Left-handed because we cut off his right hand.
でどちらも感染
Also, you
者
managed to grab it and also
なっ
not
ち
pull
ゃ
the
った
trigger
か
at the
ら
same time, so...
And there's a needle.
どっちを
everyone in
助
this
ける
universe
か
is
っ
just
ていう
really good at baseball.
話だったかなこれ
Yeah,
は
dude.
we've got time for a donation or two.
Yeah, here's White Scythel with a $40 donation. Says, with the recent scare of my father having both kidney cancer and prostate cancer, and with him coming back kicking, now is a great chance to make sure loved ones can get the help they need by donating. Thank you. We also have a donation from Xenogeist of $100. Says, AGDQ is always a blast to watch. Thank you to the organizers and runners for always making this event great and for supporting such a worthy cause.
I'm going to hop in real quick. Anyone who might suffer from motion sickness, if you've made it this far through the run, you definitely want to look right now.
Basically, if you play the Far Cry 3 hallucination sections, we're gonna do that.
Once we actually open that door and get to this part, we can actually use a speed booster. Makes it much faster than trying to side hop through this, which
used to be the strategy for a long time.
Yeah, blind side hops and back hops through this was, it was a thing.
Yeah, and it's not like the other one where there was a map to kind of guide you. This one's just
pure muscle memory.
Good luck, hope you remember.
It's kind of the throwbacks of all the things you've done in the game so far.
All those things that you guys never saw.
Also, lens flare.
Lots of lens
flare.
Yeah.
Because motion.
Yeah.
Well, this is the process where we're supposedly becoming a zombie. And Jade is right there next to us doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Apparently zombies are really introspective.
I mean, if I had to, think about my life this much, start fighting people.
That's not okay.
No. Let me get up there. Okay.
Could catch up immediately, even though it's irrelevant.
It's not even a competition at this point.
Everything's a competition.
I mean, yeah, everything's a competition.
You can get a little bit of boost if you run at the right time. It's pretty minor.
I've never been up there when it moves, so I didn't know what to do. Because he always beats me through here.
Speed
boost run out, but it's not really worth it to get another one. The end of it is right here, more or less.
And we're gonna give the other warning for the other scene here. If you hate really tense moments or basically a zombie right in your face, look away for probably the next like 45 seconds.
Yeah,
it's a little bit further from here.
It's like 2 or 3 minutes from now.
Yeah.
Just get ready or so.
Be ready, because it's
If you dislike gore, we'll tell you when to look away. I mean, this one is questionable too. But
yeah.
We can throw it to donations for at least a little bit.
Alright, here is a donation of $40 from Flemlazoid, who says, hey there, AGDQ. Been watching for several years now. I've lost count, and I always look forward to these events. Can't donate as much this year. Houses and babies are expensive, but I'll always squeeze a bit for you guys. Have a great week and good game. Well, if you just sell some of those houses, there'll be plenty for charity, but never mind. We've also been receiving a lot of donations in memoriam for loved ones, memories of loved ones. I'll touch on more of them later, but just this one from Anonymous, $10. They said, thank you, AGDQ, for this great event. This donation is in memory of my father who died at 57 years old to esophageal cancer on January 11th, 2016. It's also in memory of my girlfriend who died at 27 years old to leukemia on February 3rd, 2017. I love them both and miss them terribly. I hope that my little donation can help someone. Thank you all.
This is the cutscene, by the way. Again, look away for like the next 30 seconds if you don't like things.
Those poor guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's this missing hand, by the way.
So Jade is turning into a zombie here.
Because she gave us the anism.
Yeah, we really gotta... It's very sad, it's very dramatic.
なんかいっぱい落ちてきてますね。なんかムービー中なのにいっぱい何か落ちてきてます。なんか悲しいムービー中のはずなのに急に何かアイテムが落ちてきて台無しにされました。
Cutscene is over, by the way.
Yeah, you can look again.
ちょっとアイテム落ちすぎですね。
And if you weren't looking, welcome. You missed things.
で、ボスも
Jade's got some speed potions.
ワンパンで
Jade's going fast.
倒していく。
Oh, this is a boss, by the way.
Yep.
All right.
That was a boss.
There's supposed to be a bunch of other enemies too, but all you have to kill is him.
So they give you his machete there. Neither of us need it, so we just drop it instantly.
They also took away all of our things, even though there's no reason they would have been able to. I don't know.
Call him a shame there.
これはかなり酔ってますね。千鳥足ですね。
Also, kind of put yourself into the shoes of the two enemies you're about to come up on. Two men side hopping at them.
Who are
with their
identical.
fists bared.
Two identical men side hopping at them. Just run up on them.
I would have ran. I don't know about you.
Listen, I would be out of there.
Same.
Ok, Troy, j'y vais.
And here's all our stuff back. Maybe.
Hello?
What?
Can we leave?
Dude.
Okay.
That has definitely never happened before.
Hey, there you go.
No, that's just me searching a guy.
Save quit?
Try it.
Did we miss a trigger?
I didn't think there were triggers in that
There were triggers in that one.
We've never missed them before.
I thought the speedrunning tutorial live was tomorrow with Strider, not me.
Wow.
Alright, so run back all the jokes we said.
So yeah, just imagine being in these people's shoes.
Oh, it takes me forever to load in.
Elle m'a sauvé. À nouveau. Elle a donné sa vie pour me sauver.
And also, you can't side hop too fast or Crane will jump. So we kind of have to have a little rhythm between the side hop clicks. It is nice that they did not make us go through the whole Jade part again.
Yes, that would have been bad.
Okay, there we go. They're really good at dodging in this game, and it's kind of annoying.
He learned from previous mistakes.
We might have killed the guys too fast, because I don't think we got that dialogue.
Wow, you guys
Hey,
went
you got your stuff back!
There we go.
Hey! This is
Did
what
it
you
again.
get for going too fast.
Yeah, I think it was that we killed the guys too fast, because I didn't hear the dialogue.
I guess.
That's literally never happened.
Okay.
Nice achievement, by the way.
Thanks.
Have you played this game before?
No.
Back to fan zone.
No, they're just really good at blind runs.
It's only actually achievement progress, even worse. Alright. This part is just a little bit of movement, so another donation or two, it's perfectly fine.
All right. We have a comment here from Dirk, who sent in $50 for the Prevent Cancer Foundation and said, I lost my grandfather to cancer 6 years ago, and he was a huge source of encouragement and inspiration. I have to donate during Dying Light because I love seeing one of my favorite games horribly abused. And an anonymous $40 donation says, I love that you guys are doing this. 4 people in my extended family have had cancer before, and 1 lost the battle. Let's kill cancer.
I almost just clipped into something stupid.
I guess it wouldn't have been the worst thing. Okay, that weird thing happened again. For whatever reason, sometimes Crane will just not grab the ledge.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's a slightly worse problem a little bit later in the game.
He just wants to spice it up.
Alright. So, got more sewers, believe it or not.
Thankfully not.
Not nearly as bad.
Not as bad.
But we do actually get to split up again soon as well. I know you've been missing that one.
I know. I can't stand to be away.
おっとなんか変なところにめり込みましたが、しっかりとリカバリーしました。
Okay.
What?
Interesting.
Crane, do you know what a floor is?
I don't think Crane knows what anything is.
I mean...
Crane sees things and Crane just goes straight through them. It's his favorite thing.
The grappling hook is buggy, to say the least.
Yeah, just a little bit. when we were doing the calls earlier, you can grapple hook during that, and Crane's feet will lift off the ground, and he'll just kind of hang there for a little while.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to show
な
it
んか
off.
ここもなんか嫌な予感
Great.
がしてきますね。地下水道は。
This is another out of bounds we were talking about.
なんか壁抜けしそう
This
な
one,
雰囲気です
I'm actually
けども、
not
一
sure how
体
this one
さ
got
あどう
past.
なってしまうんだ。こ
QA,
れ
I mean, I
は
love QA
壁抜
testers,
けを
but
している。壁抜けをしていますね。やっぱ地下水道壁抜けができる。
You just like grab the top of the ledge and just go through the wall. It's sure.
There we go.
Cool.
So a couple triggers that we do have to hit by going this route. Or else we can't
Nice save.
go the rest of the way. But
右の方は落ちてしまって左の方
okay.
は
So spawning those zombies is the trigger that we needed. So we're perfectly fine now. He's gonna go over the map and get to the exit, probably before me. Though I'm not too far behind, actually. And yes, he did hit it from behind.
Yep.
Oh, and it suddenly becomes day there.
Yeah, Crane just phases through the door and then opens it.
And funny enough, we actually aim for the shallow end there because it stops our momentum faster and we don't go as deep into the water. Great diving etiquette.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So coming up as a broadcast station, I have to be really, really precise with my grapples or we lose a few seconds. There's a specific pattern I use to get across the water and then up the hill. And if I mess it up, we're gonna have to wait.
いきますね。じゃあ一回壁抜けできるか。
Man, finally, we actually get the key card.
できると思いますよ。
That was first try.
Oh, I messed it up. Dang it.
That key card is always in the same place. So
Alright. I get to wait here like an idiot while my grapple recharges.
Crane gets really excited even though it's been a whole 10 seconds since he was told where it was.
So none of this part requires either of us to be in the same place. So I can just start climbing the tower. Meanwhile, he's doing all the main story objectives.
So I'm distracting all the zombies with firecrackers because it's easier to have them off my back than to kill them.
This tower is the one we mentioned earlier where you basically cannot grapple. There is one place in the entire tower where you can grapple.
Right here.
Okay.
That's it.
So there's something fun. That guy just smacked me and I saw it coming from a mile away. So something fun about this this animation that I'm about to do. If a zombie hits me at any time, I have to redo the entire thing, which includes reopening the box. So they just assume that you're like, hey, you got hit, close the box.
Well, zombie closed it for you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just nice.
これが
It's common courtesy.
パルクール
So I
な
have a
んで
bunch of grenades. I haven't been using them through the run. Might as well use them here.
このゲームの本質ですから皆さんこれ間違えない
So
で
you're
く
gonna
だ
run
さ
out of your 16,000 grenades.
Oh no.
壁抜けて
I
も
mean,
簡単に
we did
あと
try to find a
副
way
将
to
最
know
初
the
から
layout
こ
in
うやって移動してますけど
Yeah, probably fine.
Sadly, you can't animation cancel grenades.
Yeah. Oh, I never mentioned animation canceling. It's a small thing. Whenever I use a speed booster, I cancel to the grapple hook and then try to use it, and that cancels out the remaining animation of the speed booster. We've been doing that all run, and we never mentioned it because it's really easy.
Yeah. Really minor speed tech, but it does make a big difference. And here we're supposed to go back through even more sewers, but instead of that we're just going to warp to the end and go through the end and then come back out and it's going to count. So
it's really nice that there are no actual triggers to hit in there. It's just the end one.
この街に来てからの話なので最初の街の部分でフックショットを使ってたっていうのはちょっとおかしいところですね。
It kills me.
Everyone's favorite.
I know, it's great.
もちろんそのサバイバルフックアクションっていうのもあるとは思う。少なからず。
Oof, that load takes a long time.
Crane also just punches a metal gate and it
1時間
opens for
23
him
分
with
です
no
けども
consequences. Just don't worry about it.
All that reminds me of is like in Mirror's Edge when you're running and you like
あま
slam
り
your
ロスは
forearm
な
into
い
the
よう
door.
に見
All
え
I
る
can
の
think
で
of is, man, you will break your forearms after about 2 minutes of that.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have forearms at
Yeah,
that
exactly.
point. Like, they'd just be gone.
Alright. So coming up is probably the most boring part of the run, but there are at least cool things in it to make it more exciting. The clinic has a bunch of dialogue that's going to run through the entire time that we have to wait through, that there's nothing we can do, but it's only about a 5-6 minute area, so it's not too bad. Plenty of time for donations right now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, during that time in the clinic, I encourage viewers to donate. We'll play a little game, leave a PS in your comment, and we'll play... Did you actually write that, or did Prolix make it up? Okay. Get your donations in now, folks. It's all for charity. All right. We have a donation of $40 here from Escape Room Herndon, who says, Dying Light was one of my favorite co-op experiences, and it's so much fun to see it done so quickly. Thank you to all the runners and everyone else involved for everything you're doing for such a good cause.
Oops.
Hey,
kind of lost that a little bit.
I'm going to show off a fun animation.
Oh, yeah.
That is the drop kick ability.
Crane's,
just ridiculous.
Crane's great.
That's not like he's doing a glitch or anything. That's just actually how it is.
Yeah. Run, sprint, jump, press E.
And just fall.
Yep.
Just interrupt me if you need to. I have another $40 donation here from Helsing fan who says, thank you to all the runners who helped put on a great show for this event. My mom just started chemotherapy today, actually, and I hope that someday we can all beat cancer together. Thank you, Helsing fan, and we wish your mother well. And just speaking of the donations again, a note about the prizes available right now. There's that entry-level gaming PC.
これはこれはミスなのかミスってしわった感じですね。
What are you doing?
変なところで髪抜きをしたおかげで死ぬ羽目になってしまった。
We're learning so much today. Again, I don't think that has ever happened.
I mean, I've never grappled there before. So.
Also, Funkhead is out of bounds.
さすがに今のや
Here
つは面白い
the
です。
other important
予
triggers.
想だにしなかった。
Anyway, sorry. You were going to say
I mean, the real prize here is us all just being able to watch this run. That's the message. Is it too late for like 'tis the season type of?
もしかしたらこれによっ
The
て
message of the
新しい
season
なん
is
かでき
the
るかも
run
し
is
れ
the
ないで
true
すね。
gift. We have a $150 donation from Scribs J, who says, hello AGDQ, looking forward to the horror game block. Good luck to the runners. Let's beat cancer while playing games. Thank you. But yeah, prizes. Yes, $150, speaking of, will get you an entry for that 8th generation console bundle. We have the entry-level gaming PC available for $40 right now, and just a little bit of time left to donate $50 or more and get that Octopus AGDQ banner. It has some very dadly art on it. I love LLK's designs. So
Having fun, Amy?
I'm having so much fun. So here's the thing about dropkick, it doesn't gain your melee bonus. So he dropkicks him real hard and then doesn't kill him.
Yeah, Crane is not very good at dropkicking, is he?
There you go.
No, he's dead. You can just keep going.
Also, I'm back out of bounds. You just kind of climb up there again. Doing what we've been doing the past couple minutes is actually the fastest thing, though. Funny enough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dialogue.
You'll notice that anytime I step out of this room, the objective switches back to here, which means we have to stand in this room and listen to Camden talk to us.
Yep. And I'm actually trying to hit this lab storage trigger. There we go. You can get it early, but it's a little bit harder.
完全に
I
左の
don't
人
know
はなん
exactly
か
where you need to be or
ず
what
っ
you need
と
to
遊ん
do,
で
but
い
it
るようですけど
works sometimes, and other times it doesn't. Once I hit those 3 buttons, you just have to wait a little bit longer.
Please don't clip through the wall again.
Yeah, that would actually be a bad idea.
遊んでなかったみたいです
I'll try not to.
待って
I'll do
た
my
みたい
best.
ですね
Amy, you're especially good at clipping today, aren't you?
Apparently.
Unfortunately, you're a bit too good at it.
So
一
now
応
the
こ
zombies
こ
are
ホ
gonna
ラ
have
ー
a
演
little bit
出
of a
の
rave.
ようですが何か適当
We
に
can show off our new dance move.
遊んでたら終わってますね
We're not swimming, but, you know, it's a rave, so.
It's close enough.
わーっと何か出してます。
So if
drop kick.
Or you can just drop duct tape.
Good enough.
I just vaulted on you instead of kicking you. Whoops.
Oh well.
You tried.
Kick your partner.
I mean,
another spot where you can actually climb out.
完全にこれは左の人は遊んでいますね。
And then hit the trigger from the top.
完全に遊んでますね。
I'm still here.
Yeah.
まあゲームだから遊んでいるの
So
は間
that's
違い
the
はない。
clinic, thankfully over, and we're about 3 minutes from the end of the run. There's not much left.
Unfortunately, you don't get to do the finale, which at least gives closure to the run, but...
Albeit not amazing closure.
Wait, you don't like QTE bosses?
J'ai vu Camden. Il a étudié les échantillons de tissu.
Yeah, the final boss is just a series of QuickTime events, and it's not fun.
Yeah.
But French rise, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily, we do still have some tricks left to speed up this last little bit.
Yeah. So this was like a big problem point for us for a while. We're supposed to go through 2 pretty long phone calls, and as you saw earlier in the run, we can skip phone calls by dying. But this is really precise to get, and oh, missed it. There we go.
The first one isn't that bad.
Yeah. The first one is okay. I'm in. Yep.
Okay, if I back out enough on here, I can throw a grenade in, even though it is a safe area.
Yeah.
And this Death Warp brings us back to the safe zone that was nearest to us. We used to have to go back to the tower in tandem and then do another Death Warp, only this time the actual trigger to throw a grenade is limited even more. And so it was a huge pain and not consistent in any way. So instead, because of that same mechanic we used to skip the GRE call back in the tower, he can actually just run up here by himself, hit the call.
Hello? Okay. All right, I'm in.
And then warp over to me, which will skip the first part here.
And we're not just moving slow to move slow, it actually does restrict your movement in that way.
The game still thinks we're in the first phone call, but now that we've skipped the second one, we are completely done. And the time is coming up once we both hit the red door, which is very soon.
Yeah. It's done pretty well. Besides sewers, I don't think anything went really wrong.
And the stash.
Okay, but like that wasn't our fault technically.
Fair.
I mean, you also
I'm gonna blame the
did
game.
clip through an elevator.
Okay, again, not my fault.
That is not true. That was completely your fault.
Listen, Crane's just not bound by mortal humans.
Collision.
Yeah.
終わりましたね。
No effect on him.
ここで終わりのようです。グッドゲームです。GG。
And time.
急な終わりです。
RTA was 132.02.
Wow. That was like really, really close to world record.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, actually.
With all those mistakes even.
The save file normally starts at a 23 for me, and I moved around a little bit before, so it's probably like a 24, so it's probably a 123, which is extremely close to our PB.
Yeah, world record is a 122.
122.
And RTA is a 131, so that was like really good.
Well done.
So.
And before we go off, can we actually get self-applause to the crowd? Thank you guys for cooperating during the competitions. Thank you all. Amerlin redeemed himself as well. Can we round of applause for Amerlin?
というわけで、
2 out of 3 wins for Fun Cannon.
ダイイングライトが終わりました。
Anyway.
Alright.
で、僕の担当が一旦終わって、また後であるんですけども。
One more time for Amerlin and the Fun Cannon, please, everybody.
とりあえずこれで終わります。ありがとうございました。アイテンです。お疲れ様でした。
Fantastic run there. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope you did as well. as I mentioned, I had a couple of serious donations here. People donating in memoriam to in the memory of loved ones. And I know it's a heavy topic, but I definitely wanted to get to them and give these donations the respect they deserve. We have $40 received from Zenerflux, who said, "This is for my grandfather. It's been 28 years, but we still miss you. Let's raise awareness and help others beat cancer. Put this towards the Zelda Glitch exhibition." Also, $50 received from a Chiana Banana, who said, "Just dropping in on my lunch to donate and say thank you to everyone involved and everyone who donates. It means so much to me because I lost my little sister to cancer 11 years ago. Every bit of money helps." And thank you both for your comments. Up next, as we continue the spooky games block, we have a run I know a lot of people are looking forward to. Carsey himself. It's the legend. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard by Carcinogen. It's on the PC, the new game Madhouse run. A couple more donations for myself here. I've been Prolix, I've been your host for this past game. I'll be getting out of here shortly. Might as well read these, though. Like Totally Lily gave us $15 and said, "Loving this run. Thank you for all you do for charity. P.S. I heard Prolix has an 8-pack. That Prolix is shredded." Well, thank you. Then we have $150 for my best friend IRL. It's the Wu-Tang RZA. I know everybody has to know it's not the RZA, but Wu-Tang says, "Hey, Brolix, you're doing an awesome job, and Nardine and I are always happy to help a good cause. Bring me home that console prize when I win it. When it goes to Reader's Choice." Okay, I see how it is, Wu-Tang. You're wearing your colors on your sleeve there by showing you donated $150 just for that console prize pack. Well, let me tell you, I'm sure I can't bring it home with me because somewhere it's in Scent's iron clutches, and he has a look probably like near rabid on his face, and he's behind me right now, isn't he? Yep. Okay, look, I gotta go, everybody. We'll be back right after these messages.
ごめんなさいね。